Good morning everyone, thank you very much for joining me today. Today's reading is going to be their biggest regret during this separation. So if there's somebody that you're keen on or that you've spent time with that you're not with at the moment, this should hopefully help you unravel some thoughts, give you some sort of ideas or prompts for you to use your own intuition to find out where you sit and what's going on. You have got three choices. You have got the small hen for number one, the large hen for number two, and then the plastic one, little hen chicken with the babies for number three. So if you want to take a choice, and we'll get stuck in.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Hi, pan number one. I always get really nervous when I'm doing the introduction, and I always think that I skip things because if I start talking about more than just basics, it all trips up and I have to do 10,000 takes. But what I wanted to say in the introduction was thank you for everybody for being here. I still find it fantastic that anybody tunes in and listens, and thank you if you're new for dropping in, and thank you for if you've been here a while, thank you very much for keeping coming back. So that's what I wanted to say. Let's get stuck in. This one's interesting. Your person comes across as you come across as ease with yourself, very much somebody who expresses themselves quite easily and is totally flummoxed by the way this person has retracted. Your person's coming across as quite particular. Emotionally, they have left. You've got the Saturn card there. It's somebody who feels like they're not particularly lovable in some ways, feels like, when you do something and somebody with in a really sort of sweetheart wonders what you've done, but you're just carrying along in your usual pattern where you didn't expect anybody to react to something. I know what that feels like sometimes. For instance, leaving at a New Year's Eve party when my brother was waiting for 12 o'clock to come and say Happy New Year's, I didn't think he was bothered. This is what this feels like. This person's left assuming that everything is fine, that you weren't really that bothered, you didn't really mind that much, but you've got a really sort of tender heart here. You love people, you expect people to enjoy life with you, and this person hasn't got the same sort of level as you, probably through upbringing. And so the separation feels like you're left thinking my best buddy, that person I adored, has gone. They're left thinking that let's just move on because that didn't really work type of feeling. Not that it didn't work between the pair of you, more in their mind, because they've got Saturn here, the Eight of Cups. That's leaving with coolness, not expecting that much. You get people with Saturn conjunct Moon, Saturn conjunct Venus, how they love, how they emotionally attach to people, and they don't expect to be loved back. You're coming across as Jupiter and the Four of Wands, that stability with expansion and expectation for life to be good and fun. So to me, it feels initially that you're left there dumbstruck by what you would probably perceive as coolness. They wouldn't perceive it as coolness. They were just doing what they're doing. It's not like they've gone out to hurt you, because it feels as well with these cards here. You've got the Three of Pentacles, the Prince of Wands, the Four of Wands. That to me feels like a relationship when you're either buddies or you laugh together, things, you did stuff together. As part of a group, maybe you're part of a team, and it was fun and open, and it was moving. It was moving in a way that you both trusted each other with the Four of Wands. The Three of Pentacles, Prince of Wands. Prince of Wands makes me think of people that get up and do stuff together. And it's a feeling of camaraderie there. The Three of Pentacles, the same as well. It feels part of a team, work together, or at least as a friendship group, it felt stable and you could rely on each other. This is what you would have thought anyway. This person, it feels like lack of self-confidence. And most of the time, I think the people who lack the self-confidence can often come across as the most confident. So especially with Saturn there, this person probably functions in the outside world in a way that makes them look confident, and enjoys enjoys being in groups, enjoys being with people, but doesn't have the softness. I mean, it's funny that you've got the Four of Wands here for you, and the situation between the pair of you was the Four of Wands. You could have lived in the same household, you could have been married, you could have shared the same work situation, or you could just have shared the stability between the pair of you that made you feel attachment. It was fun and moving, and you shared something that was incredibly significant. Significant in different ways. Yours is, as I said, very sort of sweet and tender and open. Theirs was very much a case of it worked. That's all I can say with Saturn there. And I've said this before, I used to have a Capricorn rising friend, and we were sat in the pub when we were, I don't know, early 20s, something like that, and we were talking about friends we were in college with. And she's talking about these boys that lived in the floors below where we were, and she said, I can't remember what the name, I think one of them was called Bod actually, and she said that, well, we moved away from each other because I had no use for them. And Capricorn, you know, if you look in an astrology book, Capricorn is always like, Aquarius is I know, and Capricorn is I use. And me and my other friend looked at each other and went, what? It was just an unusual thing to say, but I understand it. The more Capricorn people I know, the more I understand it. And that may be something that it was part and parcel of those times, and this person has moved on. And the lack of what you would say with Jupiter there, the lack of enjoyment in life that you may feel that has come towards you now that the separation is what they live with every day. So I don't think all the different sides, we can't berate anybody, because we've all got the good sides and the bad sides of both the sides. It's which ones we choose to use. Okay, right. What do they regret? They regret, there's a feeling here with a Judgment card that they saw this relationship as something bigger than they have been used to, something they can't get out of their mind, something that feels as if it was meant to be, something quite profound, something that feels like a karmic link that is difficult to shake. It almost feels similar to like a Devil card or a Lover's card combined with a Judgment card there, because it always makes me think of lifetimes with a Judgment card. You know, when you have like nodal contacts and you just feel attachment, you can't explain it. This person feels like they've moved on, and emotionally they're trying to function in a way that they normally function. Everything's fine, let's keep going. But this is somebody whose mind is always flipping back to what could have been, what should have been, and what they were unable to express emotionally towards you is a big deal in this. What they wish they had done is they felt the attachment, they felt the security that you gave them, they felt, because you've got the Four of Wands twice here, they felt an emotional pull towards you that was easy. They feel what preys on their mind, I think, with this card here, what they wish they'd done, which is this love, I love this card, is a little boy giving a little girl the gift of feelings, emotions, tenderness. They didn't express that enough, and this person finds that difficult. This person, to me, feels, unless they actually, which it feels like it's happening, and unless they actually question themselves a bit more, is always going to find themselves in a situation where they regret not being able to express their inner feelings more. I don't think you have a problem with this, with these cards here. Stability with Jupiter. And if you can picture that in your head, let's just say the Four of Wands is like a fourth house in astrology. I always have to relate to astrology because that's how my mind thinks. With Jupiter in your fourth house, you would probably, with these cards, it doesn't mean this has to have happened, but you are probably adored and always given the benefit of the doubt, and your parents were very loving towards you. So you churn yourself out into the world, and you're the same with everybody else. There's complete opposite feeling here between the pair of you. Yours is stability and open heart, open mind. Theirs is I walk away from situations which I feel, when I feel I'm not loved, and this person feels like they're not loved a lot, and I guess here from these cards here that they've convinced themselves that they're unlovable anyway. So that happens a lot. They won't even acknowledge that. It would just be a basic underfunction that they carry around with them. What they wish they'd, there's just a strong feeling here. What they wish they'd done, what they wish they said was share more of themselves with you. Shared more time, enjoyed themselves, got their hand in their pocket and gone out and done things with you. With these cards here and these cards here. Express themselves. These cards here feel like two people face to face at a table out doing something. This person wish they'd taken you out more, or at least taking you out at all with these cards here. Actually done activities with you. Where, as I said here with this Six of Pentacles, it makes me feel like wish they'd gone to the cinema with you, asked you out, done this, gone here with you, spent more time with you, expressed themselves with you, giving you that little bit of sweetness that you give everybody else. I think this feeling from you isn't really contained to just one person. It feels that you are very generous spirited with lots of people. They can see it. They almost feel, you coming off as this energy here almost feels like you can shut them out even more. I wonder if you never know, do you? Some people with opposing energies, you give them the lack that they can't actually express. And sometimes they relate to people that are more like themselves. Who knows? Nobody knows in relationships. Different relationships are different. But there is an incredible, strong feeling of regret in this. Oh, the title is regret, isn't it? I forget what the title is when I start reading. There is in this, it's almost like you could pick the cards to show regret because it feels like the relationship was good. It feels like your person's difficult with regards to loving themselves and loving others. You don't have that problem. You've got these two cards here, you know, what they wish they said and done, and that is emotional attachment, and that is spending time, spending money, you know, practical events where you're giving out. So there's a huge regret in this pile. It feels quite sad to look at from their point of view, but to be honest, with the Eight of Cups and the Saturn, I've experienced this many times before where they almost emotionally shut off. The Eight of Cups emotionally shut his Cups cards and they've turned away. The Saturn card is cool, so they can very easily emotionally shut off. So don't feel sympathy. This is more a case of keep your energy to me here. Now there's more cards down here for how they're viewing it, combining with these cards down here. Ah, nice. Okay, you've got the King of Cups, you've got the Knight of Wands, you've got the Lovers, you've got the Knight of Wands twice. So to add on to their regret, there's a feeling here that they wish they'd got stuck into life with you, you know, enjoyed it. There's the feeling of, you know, physicality, sexuality, doing things, moving in life, enjoyment here. The King of Cups goes very much with the Six of Cups. Somebody who wishes with the Saturn and the Eight of Cups there that they had the emotional maturity to show you what they feel regardless of whether it takes something away from them. Because the King of Cups gives anyway. There's compassion there, there's strength. So there's a regret here that they didn't actually level up. And the Lovers card here goes with the Wands cards here. They wish there'd been more, or at least a start or a beginning of I'm trying to think of the correct way to say. They wish they canoodled with you. I can't think of the correct way to say it. They wish there'd been more of a physical. There was more physicality in the relationship. Maybe with these cool cards here, they didn't make a move. You know, even like that sort of, you know, first kiss move even. It's something physical, it's something movement. You've got Wands which move forward in action. You've got the Lovers card here and you've got somebody cool. So it couldn't have even got past, I'm going to say first base then, but I sound like a 16-year-old. But it may not have got past the first kiss, past, you know, it didn't actually move as much as they wanted it to, the Lovers card down here. This feels with the Judgment card and the Lovers card here, somebody who may actually fantasize about what they wish they'd done physically with you. It feels like you've I'm getting an image in my head of like a dog biting somebody's heel. You know, like you've almost, this relationship has got the teeth into them and it nips, and it's like it's causing them to almost slowly seep out emotions which they have found difficult in the past. You couldn't have done anything different. Jupiter and the Four of Wands, it's probably by being who you are that is actually waking this person up. I'm not saying let this person get away with being too cool, because your energy needs to be kept exactly as it is. Don't bring it down to their level, because it feels like they're learning more from seeing how you act, seeing how you react, interact here. And interaction is key with these two cards here. They need to interact more. The way that you do it is an example to them. So keep yourself up at your level, I would guess here. Strong physical feelings, strong regret of not moving, a strong recognition of a relationship that felt good. They wish they'd given you more. There was sweetness between you. There's a feeling of a really strong feeling of wanting to do things physically with you, not just sexually, which is strong, but they actually wish they'd taken you out or done something or gone somewhere with you. So this could be a particular instant where you'd ask them to go somewhere, you're meant to meet somewhere, they didn't turn up, or they didn't just didn't take advantage of it. Could have been in work, could have been doing something that was very straight-laced. With Saturn there, I always find Saturn intriguing. We don't have it strong in our family. I used to have a astrology program. It was like a research astrology program when I was young, and I did my whole family, and it gives you the top aspect that comes out in the family, and of course it's straightforward when you see it. And ours was Jupiter Venus, whether it's squares or conjuncts in our whole family, and then the more I think about it, I can see it. People with strong Saturn in their family, they function on a different level, which I find the more I read tarot, the more I look at earth signs, which is not particularly strong in our family either, the more intriguing I find it all, fascinating, the more you start falling in love with other people's signs, because it's parts of you that you don't understand, and the more you delve into it, the more it gives you balance. And that is probably what this channel has done over the last couple of years, has given me more balance, seeing things from different points of view. And that's why I keep pushing and pushing with the tarot and the astrology, because that to me is one of the most precious things with understanding, reflecting other people and where they come from, even if you don't like it or identify with it at that moment. And I was thinking before I did this reading, that I was going to make a joke about, because I've been watching lots of the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and lawyers getting on. I love it. It's so interesting. Not for them, hard for them, but getting on and let's make it 200k today. And I thought I'm going to get on and say that, but I didn't, because it's still still a small channel, but to me, how it lets me develop myself is interesting to me, and if it helps anybody else, that is fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to start summing this up. Pile number one. I feel like I've been talking lots today. Their biggest regret in this separation is lack of action, lack of physical action, lack of expression of emotion. I think physically not turning up to something or not giving enough in a particular moment seems key here. There's a strong feeling that they felt a really sort of stable attachment to you. There's admiration for the way that you are open and you don't ask for much here with the Four of Wands. You are who you are, and you give out a lot. Very generous spirit here. They're, to me, with Saturn and the Eight of Cups here, they've moved on. If you are expecting them to feel like they are kicking themselves big style, this is somebody who knows they've done what they've done, but they function on a different emotional level from you, because Saturn and Jupiter are almost opposite with regards to relationships to me. So they would be throwing themselves into work, even though they acknowledge this. It feels like the Judgment card here, that this whole caboodle, I don't know what I'm talking about there, but feels as if it's a slow seeping unraveling of where they are under functioning, and you have started that for them. They wish they'd grown up a bit to express themselves emotionally without protecting themselves. They wish that they'd strong need to have moved physically towards you. This feels like somebody that didn't make a move, somebody that didn't turn up, that type of feeling. And there's a regret here for not womaning up, not manning up, if you know what I mean. They wish that they'd done something rather than self-protection all the time. This is somebody cool. I have somebody, and if she's watching this, she'll know who I'm talking about on Patreon, who I can feel this energy in the person that she talks about. The more that she reveals about him, absolutely fascinating. Absolutely, the control and the structure in this person intrigues me. Which absolutely intrigues me. But that is what I've got here. Somebody with a cool nature that doesn't normally question themselves. There's a real sort of epiphany with regards to your energy and how they see you. There's a regret of not acting, not emotionally expressing themselves, because they feel less than from not doing it. It's like you're clipping away at their personhood, who they are as a person. And it's nipping. It's like you're sent from the heavens above to make this person grow up by just being yourself. Okay, pile number 1. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helps in some way. I hope that helps you see who you are, possibilities, probabilities, hopefully. If you enjoy the readings, please consider checking out Patreon. Please like, please subscribe, all those YouTubey things that help me get to 50 million or whatever I was saying earlier. What is it? I don't even know. Thousand. Yeah. When I first started YouTube, I didn't really understand why you would like it. Well, if you like it, just watch it. But the more that, we can actually feel on YouTube that we sit in corners and we talk to ourselves unless it gets shoved out, which it gives it extra incentive to get up off your bottom, go and do readings. Because once you start, it's like, it feels natural. I don't know if anybody feels that when they listen, but it feels natural to me. And it's not often we find things in life that feel like they flow, like we should be doing it. So I enjoy it. I'm going to leave you there, pile number 1. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. I've dealt the cards out. I was trying to say how thankful and grateful I am that anybody drops by and listens. Thank you very much for everybody and your beautiful comments. And then I felt like I mucked it up, so I'm restarting again and looking at the pile. So here goes. So what is their biggest regret about this separation? There's a feeling here. You've got the 6 of Swords and Chiron, so there's a feeling here that the hurt in you, the maybe force need to move on with the 6 of Swords, and I think it's more of a need to retract yourself due to pain with Chiron here. So I feel that you've pulled out of this relationship because it was painful, it hurt, it was bringing up old hurts of way that you probably felt when you were a kid, when you didn't get enough love, or it's self-protective, and it feels like it's repetitive to me with these feelings here, where you've had to get yourself out of a situation because it's doing you no good whatsoever. And it's making you, with Chiron, always seems to tumble up things from your past. Almost like the same situation, slightly twisted, comes up every, 8 years, 10 years, whatever the cycle is, I'm not sure how long it is. And you recognise it when you stop and think. So this person has been another I'm not going to say nail in the coffin, some instigator for regards to self-reflection, probably with regards to inner hurts. I'm not saying that it's not there, it just is, things come in patterns. Your person here is coming across as the 7 of Pentacles and the full moon. So to me, this is a slow mover emotionally. Somebody who unravels their feelings very slowly, not fast enough for you. You've taken that, I think, as maybe a slight insult. There's not the coolness in your person in this as in Power 1. This feels like somebody who feels but unravels very slowly, quite self-protective in some ways, a Cancerian feeling possibly, of wait and see. I'm still waiting, but you haven't, you've gone. That type of feeling, whatever that is. The situation between the pair of you feels like it wasn't enough. It feels sweet. It feels tender. It feels like you both knew that there was attraction between the pair of you that I think was expressed in some way that was kind or gentle or just starting, not quite getting going, but there's a tenderness from this person towards you. There's probably a regret that they only just started. Your person, I think, is quite tentative with regards to maybe life in general. This isn't the energy of somebody who gallops through life mowing over people. This is somebody who, when they fall in love, they fall in love deeply, but that they've pinged a fear factor in you, and it feels like you've pulled away. I need another card on this. Hold on. There could be I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking here. I don't know if it's going to apply, but with the Seven of Swords with this energy here, this to me could be a scenario or a situation where they are slowly falling for you, but have done something in the meantime that doesn't make sense with the Seven of Swords, like gone out with somebody else and it seemed to you as painful, or they've done something that you have it's been offhanded in somewhere. I can't think of the words. They've done it knowing that it's not the correct thing to do, but not put the invested emotionally in the actual situation. You could possibly have perceived this as being betrayal in some way, or something far more severe than they would have thought it would have been expressed. I can't say that in English properly. I'll give you an example. You could have seen this person out with, let's just say this is a man, you're a woman. You could, only for ease for me to say this, because I'm going back to memories in my youth really. Let's just say you've had an argument. It feels like Friends, doesn't it, when you're on a break and they've gone out with another woman or another partner, it doesn't matter about the sex, and you've seen them and it's bruised because it's pulled up something where you have been almost put aside in the past, whether it's to do with parents, whether it's to do with friends or lovers. This has got this feeling of that something has happened. This person's taken a long time to show their feelings for you. There's sweet feelings here, and something has happened in the meantime that has caused you to react in a very strong way to something that they don't perceive as strongly as you. And you're probably saying, well, that isn't so, because this is what they did. But that is what I'm feeling here, because you've got sweet, looking at what's going on between the pair of you, sweet expression, kindness, generosity, be the beginning of events, but something's done a U-turn. They're still working towards you. The emotions are strong. They take a long time to reveal them. You're coming up in pain. So that is what I'm getting here. The blockage between the pair of you is the Page of Cups. You've got a lot of pages in this. So to me, the pages are the beginnings. The Page of Cups, the beginning of emotions. And you've got the Seven of Pentacles here where it's unraveling extremely slowly. So to me, there's a feeling here that this was nipped in the bud too early for it to actually develop into something else. It feels like it caught your hurts to me with these cards here. What are they regretting? They're regretting not being straight up with you. They're regretting not telling you the truth, not being totally open. There is regret here with regards to, it's funny that you've got the Five of Cups here with these pages and the blockage being the Page of Cups, because it sort of is this card. It's like, you gave something, but it wasn't quite enough. And then one of the blockages being the King of Swords. To me, that is manning up. And I said this in pile number 1, manning up, womaning up to speak your truth, to say what you think, to say what you feel. This person feels tentative. They regret being tentative. And you've got more regrets down here. The Eight of Wands with the King of Swords. This is somebody who should have spoken up in a very expressive, forward way and said the truth at a certain time. And this could have something to do with the Seven of Swords here. Did they do something? As I said, that scenario, you can twist it in your head. Did they do something that they thought was slightly underhand but wasn't going to be a problem? You perceived it as complete insult. This is what it feels like here. The Eight of Cups here, you've got cup cards here, the Pages of Cups twice. And then you've got them, their regret is the Queen of Cups. They didn't express their emotions to you. They didn't recognize what you needed out of this. There is a feeling in this, though, that maybe a possibility of questioning whether they pinged something that was very vulnerable in you in the first place and they hurt you. But I suppose with weighing up the balance between is that hurt that was there initially anyway, and it was just brought to the surface rather than it being totally I don't know, obviously. I don't know, but whether it was totally, they would agree that they were underhand, but there is a possibility that, I feel bad saying this, but I'm just going to say it straight, that you could have overreacted because it was recognition of an event that had happened earlier. You may not have even noticed it. I don't know. You know, somebody else cheated on you, or the same scenario happened, or it reflected something in your childhood that made you feel like that, and you have cut off big time. Chiron is a difficult one, a fascinating one. And you know, all these like public events that you see in at the moment with like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, very chironic. It's almost like they're doing this in the public for us to understand how situations can actually manifest. You know, they do it for us because it's such a big forum. And the Chiron there to me is like bringing up hurts that aren't just about that particular moment, that particular relationship. They're to do with hurts from youth, childhood, past lives, whatever you believe in, whatever springs to mind. So this has got a feeling of that in here. But we're looking at their regrets. So let's have a look at their regrets in this separation now that I've summed it up. They regret moving too slowly. They regret not expressing the emotions that they are normally reasonably good at expressing. It just takes them a different amount of time to get there. This feels like a Cancerian feel, or yeah, probably just Cancerian, so I'm going to stick with there because I'm thinking emotions here. They regret doing something silly that you reacted strongly to because of where you're coming from, and it feels like they wish they hadn't done it. There's a feeling here as well of not being strong enough to show their tenderness towards you, which is tenderness is the word that I think that they feel towards you, in a way that was straight and more mature, being the King of Swords, that they didn't express the truth in a way that should have been expressed in a more adult and a more fiery way, more passionate way. It feels like they let this dribble, this relationship, and they didn't actually express their true emotions to you because in their mind they would say, that's how I always work, I didn't have time. This feels like somebody who's quite sweet-natured and slow-moving, and something has happened with regards to this unravelling that has made you feel like it's a big hurt. They know it's a hurt, and they acknowledge the fact that they hurt you with the Seven of Swords here, and it felt underhand, but their biggest regret here is not being mature enough to move faster, to express their feelings, to express their truth, and that you're gone and you're lost. And to me it feels like this person thinks of you in a very sort of sweet way, the one that got away. To me it feels like the Page of Cups. You know, if somebody would ask them, this person would speak about you in a way that was quite sweetly emotional, like, what a beautiful person, that type of feeling, rather than and there's a regret here for not something that they said. But even actually, this could go two sides. I'm keeping with the first one in my heart, what I feel like, but with the Eight of Swords and the King of Swords twice, there could be a feeling that they said something, a Seven of Swords, in anger, or in a feeling of they didn't think, there was no forethought here. They said something that hurt, that they expressed too quickly without thinking about it, because that would go with the King of Swords twice, the Eight of Wands, and would go with the Five of Cups, with the two cups being left. So that could have hurt you deeply too, because that would go with the Seven of Swords. Something that is not usually the normal manner, because this is somebody who, as I said earlier, has generous, kind feelings towards people, very sort of tender, sweet, opens up slowly, as I've said here, and could have said something on the, like a flash temper type of thing, and there's regret for that, which burnt here. I need to put some more cards over here. I don't need to put more cards over there. The blockage was that they played it too much by the book. They didn't. They have in their mind, that Cancerian feeling that's very, very sweet. Of people who, Cancerians is it's difficult to explain. To me, it feels like this person had a set structure on how to court you. Let's just say court whatever the situation was, and they were following that routine, thinking that everything's going fine. You're thinking this is slow moving, when are they going to do something? And then either something has happened that they've actually been put into a corner and therefore said something quick or hurtful, or that they haven't, with these cards here, given you enough truth to say that they were attached to you, because they were still going, there's two scenarios here which may be confusing, going down a track where they were waiting for things to, it feels like, there's like traditional sort of films you get with Italian people that need to be chaperoned about. The Godfather, it feels like the courting was very traditional, very slow, walking around in a garden with all the, the mamas behind you. And you could have taken that as an insult. But to me, this insult feels like it possibly was a bit more severe than that, because you've got cards of speed and you've got cards of feeling underhand. So to me, I'm going to stick with that scenario, that you saw, you felt, you heard something that felt unjust or unkind, and it burnt you. So sorry, different scenarios there. Let me just start summing this up with what I feel is the truth I can get from this pack. Their biggest regret during this separation is moving too slowly, having big emotions but only showing you part of it. There's a feeling here that a particular incident felt unjust to you and you've taken that to heart big time. There's a strong feeling that this person is a very kind-hearted, tender-hearted, sweet person that is quite traditional with regards to, I'm going to say courting again, because my dad used to use it, used to make me laugh, the courting process. There's a strong feeling here that either bad words are exchanged that hurt, or this person regrets not speaking their truth, not expressing their emotion, and being too soft, too slow, not truthful enough, not strong enough in their personality to show their, I'm not going to say show their passion, because I'm not feeling this person is incredibly passionate. I think that they wish they had expressed that more with you. It's a slow burner that didn't light up quick enough for you. Something tripped up in the meantime, that because this person hadn't had the chance to reveal their emotions, you took flight with these cards here, because it pinged something that was very pingable in your nature. It felt like a hurt, that I felt that before, here goes, I'm not going down that track. This is how you felt about it. So that's what I've got, pile number 2. To me, to sum this up, it would feel like this person had kind feelings towards you, a gentle person who didn't, in their mind, have a chance to reveal anything. Then something got brought up in the middle of this relationship that caused it to end, and they wished that they'd spoken up. So I get there eventually. It just has to start clicking together. There is a strong feeling, and I've said this 3 times, once in pile number 1 as well, that they weren't woman enough or man enough to own up to their feelings and to let them develop in a way that was less safe. Okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave you there. Please consider doing YouTube things, subscribe, hit the like button, all those things. I don't have to say, you know what they are, but they help the channel grow, so we all don't think that we are sat here talking to ourselves in the corners of rooms. Anyway, thank you very much. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. I'm just going to get going with this. In all 3 piles, I've well, not yet because this is the 3rd pile, but I was saying that when I do the introduction at the beginning with the little chickens or whatever's there, I always feel a bit nervous to actually just say just exactly what I'm saying. I don't know why, it's just the first few seconds, but what I wanted to say is thank you very much for joining me here. Thank you very much to everybody who's been here from the beginning, welcome to new people who are here at the moment. And watching. As you can see, I'm not very coherent on this type of thing, but I just wanted to say I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love your comments. I love communicating with everybody. It's just interesting for me. It's a great experience for me. So that's what I wanted to say. Let's get stuck into this. This pile has got a different feeling from the other 2 piles. This person, with regards to the question, don't switch off when I say this though, you know, what do they regret? They don't regret much. This feels like somebody who feels there's still potential in this. This feels like somebody who is has got a crush on you. There isn't a huge amount of regret here. There's a possibility that they wish they had done more, said more, had a chance to move. This doesn't feel like somebody in their nature who feels there's regret. It feels to me like this is still moving. In their mind, this is still moving. There's not like I've done something wrong. This is more like what's going to happen next in their mind. So the regret is not big in this pile. So if this doesn't feel right to you, if this isn't a relationship where you know this person's got a crush on you, really, feelings towards you, then choose the other 2 piles, because those were more regret piles. This is supposed to be regret, but to me it's like I wish I'd done more on that, to be honest. It's a nice pile, but that, to be honest, it's not a strong feeling of somebody who's whipping themselves. It's somebody who wants more from you. Let's keep going. They're coming across as the Star and Pluto. That's big energy together. That Uranus-Pluto energy has got a feeling of somebody who passionate, intense. Johnny Depp, been in the news a lot lately. Has Mars conjunct Uranus, Mars conjunct Pluto. You can see it in his need for space. You can see it in his passion, in his words, and maybe volatile. I'm not commenting on that. It doesn't have to be, I'm not saying like domestically volatile, but this would be somebody who likes intensity. And you can see it in him. You can see the way that he speaks. There's an impact about him. So that is a big energy. So here there's a feeling that your person has a presence. Your person is easily, not easily. No, I don't think it's easily. When they meet that person, they are full in, fully attached, fully engrossed in a obsession or a relationship here. Because you've got the devil down here for the blockage. This person feels like they, the devil's in the details. The devil's not in the details. The devil is basically attached, and it feels like it's to you. You're coming across as the 7 of Wands and Juno. So you give me an image in the 7 of Wands and Juno that you possibly could have had a past relationships where you're not moving as fast as this person has attached to you. This feels like somebody who has got a sensible love nature. It feels to me like a Virgo feeling. How would a Virgo fall in love? They would just let it happen. It would happen, not with these intense emotions as they're coming across, but with regards to how much time you spend together. You know, when the feelings develop naturally. It's not, you're coming across as being grown up. They're coming across as being passionate. So let's keep going and see how it unravels here. You've got the situation between the pair of you. Possibly this is where the regret may be coming in, that not enough has been done. This has got to be from their point of view. You probably feel that it's still in process. So this could be somebody you're still in contact with, because I know the thing is separation. So there could be just separation, as in you haven't seen them for a while, rather than an argument in this pile. It feels like you just want more of them, as in to see them more, to experience more of them. They want more. This is a slightly more intense. No, it's not slightly. It's more intense from their point of view. There's a feeling of strong physical attraction between the pair of you, more so coming from them. There's a feeling of being locked in emotionally with them, not getting enough time with you. You want to experience them more in a way that you'd be fine for your grandma and granddad to watch. They want to experience you more in a way that your grandma and granddad would be sick. They wouldn't need to watch it. It wouldn't be right. Can't think of a way to say that, but that's what it feels like. Anyway, moving on swiftly. They wish they had communicated more with you in a way that was less intense, less stares, less emotional rumblings, less... they wish they hadn't fantasized about you as much. They wish they hadn't put as much emotionally onto the situation. They wish they'd been straight up and just done everyday normal conversations, more of that with you here. They wish that they had asked you out. What they think about in their private time with regards to you is incredibly strong. What they wish they'd actually done, and what they regret, is not doing those straightforward things that your grandparents could have watched. They wish they had spoken to you more. They wish they had asked you to do something with them to get to know you more. That is what you wanted as well. The reason that they couldn't do that, because of the intensity of their emotions, there's too much coming from inside them with regards to what they're feeling towards you, that it trips them up. You know, overthought, overthunk, over felt from their point of view. Which is complimentary towards you. It's probably part of their love nature, maybe very Plutonic, Pluto, Venus type of feeling. When they fall, it's so big that immediately, you know, you can't stop it. You are just get so engrossed in it. They get so engrossed in it that it feels like a cold drink when you're really thirsty. It's like what they want to draw towards them. They find somebody they're attracted to, and it feels like bliss. But there's always that tipping point with Pluto where then it feels like you've gone underneath the ground, and it's difficult to relate normally, which is what they wish they'd done. You know, that doesn't feel like that makes them feel too vulnerable, or it just becomes too intense, and then it's just too difficult to function on a normal level. And that's what they regret. That, not that it's got too intense, because they're Plutonic people, that's what they want. It's a really strong draw and they feel at home in it, but they this person particularly regrets not being able to talk to you normally, to do normal things with you, because they've overhammed it in their heads. I know this feeling well. I enjoy it, but until it gets to a certain point, then I think, okay, just get back onto, you know, get yourself back together. Now, it's the same message. The regrets of the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, all small, honed down versions of normal everyday activities. They wish they'd expressed their emotions in a way that wasn't intense. They wish they'd just said, you look good in that, I really enjoy your company. With the Page of Knight of Pentacles here, they wish they'd moved towards you in a practical way. Would you like to do this? Very, very simple. Would you like to go out for a drink? You know, those really everyday things which you would have loved because you just wanted attachment that started moving. This person here falls in love in a very, very all-engrossing, intense, obsessional way, and has done that, and that's given them what I feel like enmeshed in confusion with regards to how to move forward. There's regret here, which I said there wasn't at the beginning because I hadn't looked at it properly, because it's a very sort of sweet developing pile. The other ones felt like there had been a separation. This feels like it's still in process and your person's having difficulty. Passionately drawn towards you, locked in their own head, confused with regards to what to do next. This is like somebody who is nervous when they speak to you because they've put you in a position that nobody's going to fulfill. You don't do this. The Seven of Wands, you might do this, but the Seven of Wands and Juno speak to me as somebody that's measured with regards to how they react to people emotionally, how they attach to people emotionally. They regret not speaking up, you know. So let's just say you've been in a group and this person's gone quiet. They regret that they didn't actually just say those everyday things like, how are you? Or smile and say hi. And, you know, have you had a good day? Or what are you doing? The general sort, they wish they'd done more of chit chat, more of normality. They wish that they had moved towards you and done something that, as I keep saying, and the only way I can say this is like grandma, that people around them thought was normal. And in fact, it feels like this person, like, they weren't going to get you, all of you, it felt like that they couldn't react in a way that was normal. With the star, the Pluto, their Pluto, and the devil here. That's intense feelings. The star card here with Uranus, people with really strong Uranus are intense. Not in a platonic way, but it's full on. The energy is incredibly strong. This energy is difficult for people to themselves deal with because everything is heightened and intense and strong and fixed. I can't change type of feeling here. And the devil card is the blockage. It's their the way they've fallen for you is actually tripping them up. So the regrets are that, not that they've got themselves into this state. I can talk about this the cows come home, this feeling here. So familiar. It's not that they've fallen for you, is not their regret, because they enjoy it. Because people with this energy, they yearn for it in life because it's intensity that makes it feel familiar to them. It may even it may be part of their home environment. They experience this growing up, and so that they, as you say, it just feels at home. It can be negative. I'm not saying this energy is negative, but you can get these scenarios where, say, let's parents argued, or there was an intense situations at home when they were growing up. You see people that choose partners that are antagonistic in some way. This isn't this energy, but it's a familiarity to it that is strong, and by falling for you, this person feels like they're at home. So they wouldn't change it, but they do regret that it's blocked their way forward with you, because they've got themselves into a state where this attraction towards you is almost otherworldly in some way. It's not functioning on the mundane level. It's functioning in their very strong, passionate head. And their regrets are that they can't talk to you anymore. They can't express themselves in a way that's socially acceptable to onlookers. And they think that you wouldn't like it. You think that you are... It feels like being brought up well, to be honest, here, the Junior and the Seven of Wands. It feels like you work steadily towards things. You're self-protective in a way that you want a relationship with Juno there that is one-to-one, balanced and open. They want one-to-one. Balance they're not so bothered about. So their regrets here are not being able to move this relationship in very everyday ways. They've locked themselves into their own head. They are probably clicking back to the first meeting when it flowed easily before they felt as intense as they do now. So this makes me think of somebody coming into a shop or just an everyday scenario and seeing you, and it flowed really easy to begin with, and then they've got themselves into a state where they've fallen for you and it doesn't flow as easily, and they regret that. That is the biggest regret. So the separation feels to me, in this one I may be wrong, it feels like a natural separation where there's time apart, not where there's been an argument, which felt a bit more like pile number 1 and pile number 2. So this person, this is probably a positive pile, very positive for you. And I suppose, let me just see. Is to be honest, there's a feeling here, the advice for them, I'm just going to leave them with that. Advice for you is to not play on the attraction between the pair of you to make it incredibly easy for them, because you've got the 5 of Swords here. You know, it's like nobody needs to get one up on this. You can feel their energy. You know that they're attracted to you. And if you see them again, it's to make them feel at home in themselves, to ignore it, to not try and pull out that plutonic energy out of them, to be very sort of matter of fact, go with your energy up here, which is relating in a way that it's steady, not too much playing with their strong emotions. That may actually get more out of them because they will feel on safer ground. This won't go away easily. That's still going to be there, but for you to move this forward in this type of Page of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Page of Wands way with the confusion of the moon in the middle, is for you to do this in a way that lets them feel safe. So just almost ignore the attraction, I think, here when you next get in contact with this person, and just be normal, be boring. Be very, very steady, very boring, because then it will take the fire out of it. But I think to move this forward, you need to take the fire out of this because it feels quite intense, the attraction from their point of view. Pile number 3. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you are there, please hit the like button. Please subscribe and please share it. Do all those things that help the channel grow. And check out Patreon if you're interested. Thank you very much. Bye bye.